We are Anthony and me. We are converting our Citroen Relay into an off-grid camper van. You should join us on our journey and watch as we work on it over the next few months. We have absolutely no experience, so if we can convert a van, you can do it too. If you would like updates in between videos, follow us on Instagram.
Today is electric hookup point install day. Amy's just gone out now, white spirit the area, just to make sure that when we come to add the Sikaflex that there's no dirt. Even though we cleaned the van yesterday, as you can see it's been raining and it's leaving like black lines. Amy's just cleaning the area for where the hookup point's going to go in. We've got all of our little tools here, and this is what we've got. And you might be wondering why have we got black. Well, it's because in future we're going to be adding graphics, black graphics, which will probably come past here, so that'll blend in with the black graphics then. So this is what tools that we're going to need today. We've just went and bought an 86mm hole saw. This was from Tool Station because B&Q didn't have any, plus this was like half the price. So this is what's going to cut the circle. We did try to get a bigger one, but it was going to be too big, and would rather be too small than too big. Because if you're too big, like you hear me said, you can't shrink the hole, but when it's too small at least we can file our way to the desired size. And because we're cutting through metal, we've got our earmuffs. This is our electric inlet. We've got Sikaflex, we've got a centre punch, and we've got self-tapping screws and a hammer. And that's all we're going to need. We've got this scrap bit of 12mm ply, which this is going to fix onto from the inside, just to give it a bit more support. And we've also got a file. We were just going to be cutting the square out, but we can't judge measurements without seeing the shape of the van from the inside. So if you look out here, this little vias we're measuring from, and we wanted it in the middle of here, but in the middle of here is actually where the bed support is. So as long as it's going to be straight around this area, then we should be fine. It's just getting it right. So Amy's just taking that out now. Alright, I get you. So that's
what I mean?
So that's the top of the V then. So this is what we were looking at getting.
This out.
The top of this V to measure from there. Yeah, so I think, yeah, just cut it out now if you want. Put the ply on so you know the width. There was a scrap piece of ply, we're just going to cut round that.
Is that alright from there?
Bit lower. Yeah, about there. And then we'll just Stanley knife it out. It's only king span. We can fix around it after, but obviously this is something that needs to be done. So we've just realised that also behind us here we've got the sound deadening sheet, and this is exactly where we need the electric hookup, so we're going to have to take that off. But it's so messy, it's going to be so messy to take off. What is that, a full fare like then? Dry?
Spot on.
So it's bone dry?
Bone dry.
And we've had the van really warm lately as well, with a heater inside and cold air outside as the weather's changing.
Sure.
Yeah, bone dry. Just removing the sound deadening sheet. Not all of it, just enough to where we can get the electric hookup point in. This vapor barrier and stuff looks a mess now, but it's easy to fix afterwards. And it's something that needs to be done. We're going to have solar panels, split charge relay, and also electric hookup, so there's 3 ways that the batteries can be charged. Because we're not always going to be driving, it's not always going to be good weather, but then if we want to just chill out on a campsite for a bit, then we can plug in and keep everything topped up. What's that square?
We're going to have to...
Yeah, just use a standing knife. Just try not to touch the metal of the van. No worries if you touch it. Not that you have, but it can be primed and hammer rated anyway.
So this bit's not going back on, is it?
No. That's just going to be a hole for the electric point. That's spot on actually, the way it's coming off. Thought it would be a lot worse. Just shows how well they're stuck on, doesn't it?
Mhm.
And if you've noticed, we had problems with this riv nut, but the rest of them's pretty solid. They're solid riv nuts, but they are a pain in the backside. And we didn't understand that till we actually started doing them ourselves. He was just going to clean the area on the inside with the white spirit again. Obviously the adhesive of the sound deadening mats have stuck on, so we'll give that a good clean. Just for when we maybe Sikaflex the inside as well. Perfect, that and that's come right up. Good stuff. Right, I'm going to cut down this ply. We've realised that we've made this ply far too big. I did give it a lot of give around the edges, but it's too much. So we're just going to cut it to shape now.
Right, so that's all that area now cleaned. So all the like black sticky stuff's come off. So we're just waiting for him to come back with a ply and then we'll start. As you can see, I'm just marking the centre of this scrap bit of ply.
This is where the pilot hole will be. And this will be, it's not exactly a straight square, but it's just scrap. This will be about here. So then we'll drill a pilot hole through there, through the van. And then from the outside, put 2 screws into this ply after I've put a centre punch hole. And then that'll hold the ply and it'll give some support to when we're drilling the circle through. The pilot hole drilled. Now take that wood bit one out. Put that back. Yeah, it is. Now put the metal one in. And then we've just marked it up. And what we're doing is we're drilling from the outside, so the tower out on the inside. I don't know if that's the best way to do it, but I think if we get done, we get done. That's my thoughts. The tower out it'll go inside rather than coming outside and potentially ruining the paintwork. So we're thinking about here, after a lot of debate inside and outside the van, we feel like it's gonna be there. What do you think?
Let's just do it.
Nothing can go wrong really.
It's your fault if it does.
Scared? Actually, no. So I've decided to use a smaller drill bit first. Centre punch. It's not that much, but I always hate that end bit when it proper fires through. Now let's double check on the inside.
And there's a little hole on the inside. Right, where I wanted it. What you just said?
We're committed now that we've got a hole in the van. Now it gets us geared up and ready.
Nah, we can just drive around like that.
So, centre punch, I'll put 2 holes either side. It's not really much of a centre punch that really, is it?
Centre what?
Punch. Pin up.
How does it feel, you hammering our van?
Scary. Really scary, but it's got to be done. That's half the battle, committing yourself to do something. Right.
Good take from me.
Yeah, spot on. That's a good shout from Amy. Have you seen the size of the drill bit? Must be like 1.5 millimeters or something. So what Amy's going to do now is...
What about this?
It's alright for now. Amy's going to hold this up, and with that drill bit that I made the pilot hole with, she's going to hold the scrap bit of ply up, push it back through the hole. And then Amy holds it straight. Do you want to, should we file that bit off first?
Yeah.
It's affecting it on it really. No, actually it's alright, that comes out. That scrap bit, that.
Okay.
Right, so Amy's going to hold that up to the pilot hole. And from the outside I'm going to be screwing in screws to attach the ply to the metal to give it more support when I'm cutting it out with the hole saw. So, just hold it up now. Yeah. So you keep tight hold of that. What?
Or was it the other way?
Either way, doesn't really matter.
Alright.
So now I'm going to go outside and I'm going
Will
to...
you not screw through my fingers?
No, the screw's not that big. So now I'm going to go outside and I'm going to screw onto that ply. So that's the drill bit Amy's keeping hold of. And I'm going to put screws in here to fix that ply board to the metal. So at the moment this is where we're at. The only screws I had was self-tapping screws, but it does the same job. This is going to be scrap metal. The drill bit of the hole saw will go in here and we'll be cutting it out, and it'll come out with the ply which supports it. So we're going to do that now.
Are we ready?
No.
Steady?
No.
Just go.
That was stressful, thinking I'm doing it wrong, but never mind, that's a perfect circle. So from that experience, first time I've done anything like that, what I've learnt was, don't put pressure on this, because as you've seen, it kept stopping the hole saw. So you've just got to let it do it itself. I had to keep tightening this. But yeah, I'm happy with that actually. Need to hoover all up. Woo!
There you go.
That's mint. Really good.
And there's the metal circle that came out onto the wood. Much better.
So first things first, we're going to hoover up every piece of metal shavings that we're going to find and do it on the outside of the van as well with the brush. And then we're going to file it down, make it the size. The thing is, when we were looking for the hole saws, some were very big, too big, and some were very small, which was too small. I'm going to hoover up all of the metal shavings and bits of insulation. We'll get that filed down.
Nearly.
What?
Nearly. You need to do your right side, I think, again.
So this took a lot longer than expected, didn't it?
Yeah.
Because our hole saw was smaller rather than bigger, we've had to file this away for ages and just keep testing that it fits, And if you notice, we've left a little notch at the top. And this is because on the electric hookup, it's got a notch here. But yeah, Amy's going to now hammerite it. We've got a cheap brush, because we're saying to be able to only use them once when we use the hammerite. So we're going to hammerite all these edges where we've exposed the metal. This is crazy, isn't it? Another hole in the side of the van. Right, Amy, I think you might have to jump on inside, because it's starting to run. Just currently getting rid of all the metal filings from the outside, because we don't want them to just sit on the van and rust. And we don't really want to be jet washing the van when we've just done that as well. I want to let that set for a good while before we touch it again with water. These black lines are really annoying. So we give it a good clean yesterday, and it's as if it runs from the top. Obviously it's been heavy rain the past couple of days. Yesterday it never stopped raining, but I don't know why it comes down black, like black lines. I get it from window seals, that makes sense why it comes down black, but I don't know why the roof does. The roof's clean. But yeah, we'll get rid of these metal filings. We're just letting that set for a little bit. It says 1 to 2 hours, but I don't think we've got that with this weather. It's like it's gonna rain, so we need to hurry up. So a little tip, if you're gonna do your electric hookup point, maybe it might be a better idea to have the hoover next to it while you're drilling, to suck up anything before it starts blowing everywhere. Because as you can see, Amy's like a bit overkill getting rid of all of it on the van. That brush is a soft brush as well, so it's not going to scratch the van, so it's fine. But yeah, I think that will be maybe something that we should have done. Right, so now we're not going to use this. We're going to have a thick bead of Sikaflex all around here, especially where the screws are going to go. I might even squirt it into the circles where the screws are going to be, and then on the inside Amy's going to hold that ply, and then I'm going to hold this up on the outside and put the self-tapping screws through. And it's a two-man job, and we don't have a tripod, so we might not be able to record this.
So what do you need?
Yeah, right, so we are going to use this, but it's only to draw it around the ply. So we can draw around and then it will slot in, because this hole was the small hole from the hole saw. So yeah, we're gonna cut through this now, and then we don't need it, then I can chuck it. So now we're gonna cut this out with the jigsaw, and this should be the shape that it will slot into. So now I've cut out this piece, which fits perfect with this, and I'll just show you what it's going to be like. So you've got the metal in the van in between the wood and the plastic, and then we just screw into there, and the van's in the middle with Sikaflex and everything in between, and this is just a nice support, and it'll look like that from inside the van. Don't see that side from outside. So yeah, we're just going to thicken some Sikaflex all around here, and then we're going to just use self-tapping screws into this wood, which Amy will hold, and I'll just tell her which one I'm doing first, like top left, bottom right, whatever. So now we're just going to thicken on the Sikaflex, making sure to do the holes. I'm going to do a really fat bead as well. Turn it around, babe, quick. Making sure to cover the holes. I'll have to come back to that one. Keep turning. suppose it'll squash down as well. I'll put a bit more over there. I'm not bothered how much we've got. It'll squeeze out and we can wipe it off. Just making sure all the screw holes are covered. Yeah, that should be fine. Nearly ran out of that now, but we've got another one. So yeah, get that on. So what you need to do now, that's a proper flush fit as well. So we'll push this on. I haven't bothered marking holes because we're just going to use the self-tapping screws. And this is a proper flush fit, so there is going to be a lot squeezing out. But I'm not really bothered about that. So that's on like that. You go on the inside now, which we'll not be able to record now, but Amy's going to go on the inside. I'm just going to lift this up and drill in the self-tapping screws while just holding that ply. So we're going to do that now. Right, so Amy's going to hold that. We actually can record, so and then.
You pressed?
Yeah. So as you can see, there's a lot of extra Sikaflex. We'll just go around with a big kitchen roll now and get rid of that. But yeah, I'm really happy with that. So this is what it's like on the inside. Obviously now we've got the job of covering all this with insulation and vapor barrier, and this is what it's like on the outside. And as mentioned previously, we're going to have black graphics coming up somewhere. Oh, good stuff.
This is where we're going to leave today's video, so thank you all for watching. Please hit the like button to support our channel, and if you would like to see future videos, please hit subscribe and the notification bell.